Kenneth Copeland, who runs Kenneth Copeland Ministries, is one of the most wealthy ministers in the world. The televangelist lives a rich life that includes using private jets and limousines, owning a luxurious home, and being a pastor in a church with the latest technology. Because of how the preacher from Texas talks about money in his sermons, he's become well known among Christians. Let's get inside the life of Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland, who started Kenneth Copeland Ministries, is probably known to Christians all over the world. He became well known because of how well his prosperity gospel did and how well he did financially. Kenneth's purchase of a private plane from film producer and director Tyler Perry for an undisclosed price made the situation even worse, making it harder for Kenneth to get away. When asked about the jet, Copeland said that Perry had made it sound like buying the plane was such a good deal that he couldn't resist buying it. Kenneth does a lot of religious things all over the world to spread the gospel, so he thinks the aeroplane is an important part of his ministry. In an interview with Guerrero, Kenneth said that he needed a private jet because he had been to 5 different continents in the month of May. This was a big reason why he needed a private plane. He also says that he owns several vacation homes that are in remote areas and can only be reached by private plane. How much money does Kenneth Copeland have? So, Kenneth Copeland is a very wealthy person, which is something that can't be argued. Because of the high standard of living he keeps every day, there's no doubt that he is also one of the richest preachers in the United States. The Texas televangelist is proud to own a private plane and to have started a successful ministry. He is also proud to own the 1,500-acre property where the church and small airstrip are located. He's also a very rich businessman. Even though Guerrero pointed out that Kenneth's name is on limos, expensive clothes, and planes, the pastor was able to explain how he got his money. So the question is, where Kenneth Copeland got all of his money? The best place to go to get a quick and reasonable answer is the Kenneth Copeland Ministry. He's written a number of best-selling books as well as DVDs, CDs, and TV shows that are under his own name. Copeland owns a 1,500-acre piece of land with a mansion worth $6.3 million and a hangar worth $17.5 million. His planes and other planes are kept in the hangar. Celebrity Net Worth says that he's worth about $300 million. The Kenneth Copeland Ministries is one of the most successful churches in terms of money, not just in Texas, but in the whole country. It is at 14355 Morris Dido Road on a piece of land that is about 13 hectares and worth about $550,160. More than 500 people have full-time jobs at the church or one of its affiliated facilities. This makes the church a major employer in the area. On the same property as the church are several other buildings, such as the Kenneth Copeland Airport, a radio and TV production facility, a warehouse and distribution facility, and family homes. The house that Kenneth Copeland owns. The more money someone makes, the more they want to live a luxurious life. Kenneth Copeland and his wife live in a mansion on the lake that is owned by the Kenneth Copeland Ministries and paid for by them. At the moment, the home is thought to be worth about $6 million. In the interview that Guerrero did with Copeland, he said that he doesn't feel like he needs to apologize for the way that he lives. Kenneth Copeland says that people who say he shouldn't live in luxury are wrong and have a fundamental misunderstanding of the Bible. He says that the ancient covenant in the Bible talks about how the men of God should be prosperous and wealthy. Books that Kenneth Copeland has written. Kenneth Copeland is a well-known author, and the novels he's written up to this point show his body of work. Thrift Books says that the televangelist has written 7 books about stewardship. He's also written 34 devotionals and 35 prophecies, as well as 19 books about Protestantism and 21 books about charismatic leadership. Orders in the sales of these books come from all over the world, which brings in money for the ministry. Cars that Kenneth Copeland drove. Most likely, you've seen televangelists at work. They're the ones who share the gospel with a lot of people all over the world. What you didn't know is that they also think they deserve to live very luxurious lives. Kenneth Copeland is an example of this kind of person. When he goes from one place in the city to another, he does so in a fancy limousine. In general, judging him by the cars he has would be an understatement since he's moved on to another level and now owns planes. Overall, it would be a huge understatement to say that he is worth how many cars he has. He owns a Cadillac Escalade, one of the most expensive and powerful SUVs on the market today, with the V8 engine that is 6.2 liters in size. Normal operation of the car gives it the ability to make 403 horsepower, and it comes with a remote starter. It's thought that he spent somewhere between $81 and $100 million to buy the device. Copeland is the owner of the Mercedes Maybach he drives. The man of God definitely has good taste and sophistication when it comes to his cars. It's said that he spent between $500,000 and $600,000 on the sleek car, which is one of the most expensive and luxurious ones made by the company. One of the cars that have his name on it is the slim Rolls-Royce Phantom. The British car has a lot of cutting-edge features, like 2.1-inch alloy wheels and one of the most powerful engines on the market today. It has a V12 engine with 6.7 liters of capacity that makes 453 horsepower. Kenneth Copeland has his own private plane. Kenneth Copeland is a flying televangelist, so don't mistake his plane for a regular airliner. If his comments from 2015 are any indication, he hates the idea of taking a commercial flight. In those comments, he compared it to getting in a long tube with devils. When the ministry decided to buy him a private plane, it was an answer to his prayers as a religious man. Kansas City says that when the church bought the jet, it was paid for with cash. People say that the Gulfstream 5 private jet cost more than $12 million, but the ministry hasn't really said how much it costs. The Daily Mail says that the 81-year-old televangelist has joined the ranks of famous people who have some of the best private jets in the world. Soulja Boy, an American rapper, John Travolta, and Jim Carrey are some of the other famous people on the list. The private plane is very nice and is thought to be one of the best of its kind in the world. It has room for a total of 18 people, including 14 passengers and 4 crew members. KCM also has a Cessna 550 Citation Bravo from 1998, which is also a jet. The plane is used for short trips within the country and for smaller tasks. A Good Samaritan who wanted to show support for the ministry's efforts to share the gospel with people in their community gave the ministry the use of their aeroplane. Through his Kenneth Copeland Ministries, Copeland also owns a Cessna 750 Citation X from the year 2005. In 2005, this plane was bought. It's a flight he takes for his many ministries that send him all over the world. The ministry's aid and disaster relief work around the world used to be done by a Beech H-18 twin from 1962, which the ministry owned and which gave the jet a boost. With the help of Kenneth Copeland Ministries, Copeland was able to raise $17 million to buy hangar space for the ministry's planes. It was so that a hangar could be built, the existing airstrip infrastructure could be kept in good shape, and the runway could be improved to meet higher safety standards. Rolex Submariner is a pricey watch brand. Rolex made Copeland an $18,000 Rolex Submariner watch when he asked for it. The 3135 caliber watch is comfortable and high-end, and it has features that are ahead of their time. The case of the self-winding watch is hard to scratch. It's the best thing the person made. Kenneth Copeland is one of the richest people in the textile business in the world. He has said that the Bible shows people how to get rich. To show that he's keeping his promise, the preacher has built multi-million-dollar airstrip private planes, built opulent mansions and hangars, and lives a lavish lifestyle. Thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for more.